Okay, so this will be a brief demo of the chess people that you have the option to draw. You are going to use the chess people that are in the PowerPoint because those are all set up with the perfect eye level that I'm drawing these at, so you don't get confused. So we are going to start up with the bishop, and we're going to start with the easiest one first. You already drew the pawn, so we already know that everything is working with cake layers and the quarters and using ovals, and remember we use the same curve going down. So as we are looking at this bishop, the top is pretty easy. So what you end up doing, after I found my pencil, you will start off with the circle. So we have the circle, and then the most difficult part on this one is coming up with the perfect mirror image. Now sometimes what I'll end up doing is I'll go like this, and I will create a guideline. And so as I'm creating the guideline, I can use this to double check to make sure this is becoming a good mirror image. So I can keep on checking the width here, the width here, the width here, the width here. And then after I get all done, I can erase the guideline. After that, I will flatten this out a little bit. It's just like that pawn shape that we did. This is resting inside of a cake layer top, so I give it a little bit of a flatter bottom. Then after that, I go around with my cake layer, come in with my two legs, and then after that, everything is the same as a pawn person. You come down with your legs, you do the oval, bring in the legs, and do the crayon top, and then do the cake layer. So right here is the bishop. And the last thing that we have left to do is that little indent. And when you are drawing the chess person, remember you have this one over here, and so I would start over here with my pawn or bishop if that's the one that I was going to do. Now this is the first easiest one. The second one is the queen, and with the queen what you want to do is start off with the half circle up on top, and it does have a little bit of a small circle. And then after that, we have to do two cake layer tops. So I'm going to go with an oval. And then after that, I'm going to go with another oval going around. So it's going to look like Saturn at first. So you're going to have two ovals. Okay. Then after that, if you look real closely, you do have some of these rounded things to make it look like a ball with lines. So after that, you do the two legs going in, and remember you go with the same curve. Remember these two are the same curve, or they will start getting a little bit smaller, or I mean bigger, bigger, bigger. Okay, then after that, you will go in with the cake layer top, and do you see how this one hugs? And when it hugs, I usually call this a coil. Okay, so here's the next step. You will do a cake layer that hugs, and then after that, if you look, we have another cake layer top that sits on top. Okay, so with this, these are all the same curve. Then the next step is you have your two short legs, and then you'll come off with the same curve, and then everything is the same below. Okay, so this one, start off with a half circle, small circle up on top, two ovals going around. Then after that, you will draw two legs going in. You'll add a cake layer top that hugs the pale image or the crayon image. Then after that, you will do a bigger oval with two short legs. So that's the second one. The third one is the knight. Okay, so the knight, if you can draw a horse's head, it's going to be really easy. Now there's a technique that I do. When I sketch from my photos, do you see how I'm using my left hand to tell me where I'm at? And we'll get used to this technique. So, oh, the ear's off a little bit, not a big deal. So after that, I will draw the horse. And then I'll get the mane in here, get the eye in here, and I'm off a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit longer. So you're just drawing the horse. And do you see how my left hand is moving as I'm sketching? That way when I look back at my sketch to my photo, I can easily line up my eyes again. Then here's where it gets a little bit tricky. We have a little bit of the indent for the neck with the coil. So when I come around with my coil, bam. So now, after that, I have this little curly Q. And then come down. And if you notice, this is right below the mouth. And then I come with the curve, do my two legs, and then after that, I come around and do my cake layer. So what you want to do is make sure that the mouth is right above his belly. And then if you look, the mane is slightly out from the right side. When students draw this, sometimes the horse is too far out, and sometimes they're too far back. So if they're too far out here, it looks like they're going to do a nose plant. And if they're back here, they're just leaning back too far. But this is your first attempt, so don't be too hard on yourself. All I'm looking for is for you to know how to do the coils after that. Okay? The fourth one is the castle piece. And with this, remember in class I told you don't get too carried away with crenellations, which are these things up on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an orange colored pencil so you can see this. I'm going to do an oval, and then I'm going to do another oval around the top. Okay? Then after that, I'm going to do two legs, and I'm going to cut this off. And so right now it's a cake layer with a hole in the top. Okay? After I do this, I will put in a guideline right here. And then I will grab my pencil. So you're doing an oval, and then do two legs and curve it up, curve it. I'm going to put a vanishing point in the middle and keep an even number, and then you're going to draw to that vanishing point. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would do 6 to 8. Don't do any more, even though this guy has more. It's going to get way too confusing. So after that, remember I said whatever you do to the outside, you'll do the same thing on the inside. So this will come down to that guideline, vertical, vertical. Then I decide which one I want to be open. So this one is going to be solid. Then I'm going to curve this one. This one's solid, I'm going to curve this one. Then after that, I have this leg coming down. And then whatever you do to the top, you do the same thing to the bottom. So I have vertical, vertical, same, same, and then I curve, curve, curve. Over here, vertical, vertical, this slant, 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 vertical, vertical, curve, curve. Okay, so now this one's solid, so I don't have to worry about that one. Curve this one, vertical, and I won't see the two sides, but I will see the thickness. And then come over here, and this is where it gets confusing because you can easily go with the wrong opening or the solid. So I'm going to start making my solids with the pencil line. And you see how I have a crenellation. So it gets a little bit tougher. So I'm going to come down with these two legs, go right here, then it goes, oh, we have one that hugs. And when I say hugs, that means you don't see any legs. Then after that, you bring your two legs in, cut it off with the same curve, and then after that, do a coil on top, and then you can start working your way down. Okay, so the last one is the king. And we'll probably modify this a little bit with the 1-point perspective because my picture's not all that great. Start off with the perfect cross up on top. Okay, oops. Said perfect, and I'm not even going with perfection. Oh well. Okay, So I start off with the cross up on top. Now after I do that, I'm going to add the same slant on the right side and the tops. And this is going to be a 1 point perspective. Whatever I do to the front now, with that same slant, I'll do the back. So this is horizontal, this is horizontal. Horizontal in the front, horizontal in the back. Vertical in the front, vertical in the back, horizontal in the front, horizontal in the front, vertical, 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 vertical. So now we have a cross with the side. After that is we're going to do a pale inside, or a cake layer top. And this is going to be my guideline, and I could have done that with my orange pencil. And then from there, I will come down with 2 slanted legs and then cut this off. And so this is where it gets confusing. I am going to draw my lines right here with the side of my cross. So that's going to be pretty much a straight horizontal. You can try curving it like this one, but let's just modify it so it's a little bit easier. So I have a horizontal right here. Now I have the slant on the bottom of my cross, so I'm going to go across like that. And then I'm going to repeat the same one over here. Okay? After that, I will curve this and come down, curve at the edge, come down. Then I will do a little bit of a bump right here, come down, and then I will go with a vertical line almost. And then if you look real close, it has these little cylinder shapes. So I can go in, and I've modified the version of this, sorry about that. You can draw the one that's in front of you, or you can try this one. So after that, I get rid of my guidelines, and you can see how now I have the top of the king. So I go in now with that little baby coil. Then after that, I go with the big oval, come down with 2 legs, and then cut this off. So that's an order of difficulty. And then remember, after that, you will put your chess person right here. Okay, whoops. And then you will create a list of 10 ideas in this space, and that's on the PowerPoint. Make sure you are looking at the PowerPoint as you're sketching and finishing this sketch. And then after that, you will draw and add to this sketch page. So that will take care of cylinders. We have one more cylinder left to go, which is an hourglass for next week. And then after that, we are going off to other geometric shapes and organic shapes. So I'll see you in class. Bye.